you've not got 25. You know what? I'm going to confuse myself. Normally, it would be not got 25,000, okay? But I'm going to go with the old numbers. So you've not issue paid 25,000. You understand? If the new was in case, all you have to do is 2,500 to get promoted. Yeah? Now it's been in 5,000 in 2 more days, so you can't get promoted until the next 2 months with a new chart. So you've got issue paid business, but less than 5,000. Who is that? You personally have issued 5,000 or less than 5,000. Stand up if you're less than 5,000. Less than 5,000, but you have got paid. So you are IBAs about ready to get promoted to business developers. Let's give these guys a little bit of music. IBAs. Got a team back there. Woohoo! All right, y'all clap like you hired them. All right, y'all grab a seat. So we're going to do this first level business. You have been promoted to business developer, but you're not a business promoter yet. So 5,000 issue paid, but not 7,500. Where are you? 5,000 issue paid, but less than 7,500. Where are you? Stand up. It's a small window, not a lot of people in that. But let's get a handle on you. All right, y'all wave. We didn't give you music yet. All right, let's do this. Let's get one more. You've got over 7,500, but less than 10,000. You've not had 10,000 in a month. You've not had 10,000 in a month yet. Who are they? Less than 10,000 in a month. Yeah, baby. Business promoters. Business promoters. Almost team builders. All right, give them some music. Business promoters. All right. All right. Okay. All right, y'all clap for those guys as they sit down. I want to try to do something a little different. Let's see, we're in July. You didn't pay anything until after the first of the year. Okay, so your first business you got paid on before the first of the year. Can I see who that is? Just wave. Don't stand up. Your first business, you got paid this year, not last year. I know you got paid last year, not y'all. It's the people that got paid this year, but not before this year. Raise your hand. How many of those? All right. All right, so all y'all got paid. So basically started this year. You didn't start. You might have started last year, but you started getting issue paid this year, right? So how many of y'all, you've got issue paid business this year, but you've not issued more than 2,500? Like, raise your hand if you're less than 2,500. Less than 2,500. All right, less than 5,000. Less than 5,000, which includes the less than 2,500. See how that works? Stand up if you're less than 5,000, but you're all new business this year. Less than 5,000. That's accumulated business. You understand? Accumulated. The whole time you've been here, less than 5,000. Yeah? Are we tracking? Is that right? Less than 5,000. But you got started this year. Is that right? Everybody on the same track? All right, this time, when he plays that music, I want y'all to file over to, and listen, don't everybody else stand up, say, wait, I didn't know I was going to get on stage. Happens every time. There'll be 17 people standing up, and thus they come up on stage, and I'm here for 30 minutes. Like half the room comes up. So we marked you We have dotted you. Don't nobody new stand up. So less than 5,000. When he starts playing that music, you two are first. Come across the stage. All right? Hit him with the music, Billy. Good to see you both. Come right here. Anchor this position right here. How you doing? Hey. Hey. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Hey, congratulations. 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 Hey, congratulations. Hey, congratulations. Hey, congratulations. Who is this?
This is Smokey.
Can I rub him?
Yeah.
Where's my wife? She'll be jealous if she sees me rubbing on Smokey. Hey. Hey. Would y'all just shift right in behind? Y'all shift right in behind. Hey. How you doing? Good to see you. Y'all shift right in here. Yeah. Hey. Hey. I shake your hand though. Gotta move down right down here. Y'all shift in so we can get everybody here. Hey there. How you doing? Good to see you. That's awesome. Hey. 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 Nice to meet you. Hey. How you doing? Hey. Yes, ma'am. We got y'all up here. Hey. Come on in. Come on in. Did you see how many people coming up here? There wasn't this many people standing. Yeah, man. Y'all slide it down, slide it. Go down with a doggy. Go down with a doggy. Go with a doggy. Hey. Hey, y'all come on in. Slide on down, slide on down, slide on down. Hey, buddy. Good to have you up here. Slide on down, slide on down. Hey, brother.
When I reach 10,000, I want that shirt.
All right, I'll do it. Hey, hey. Yes, sir. Hey, buddy. Hey, y'all come down just a little bit. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Hey there. How you doing? Good to have you up here. Good to have you. Y'all can slide down just a little bit. We're real close. How you doing, bud? What's up, bro? Congratulations. Good to have you. Got one more handshake.
I think Marvin wants to take a picture.
Come on over here. Come on over here. Right here. All right. Hey. I got to show y'all how to do this, right? Yeah, we can take a picture. But let's do this right here. When I get the music going, y'all got to give them this. We up here and you ain't. And what we're trying to do is get y'all to want to get back up here. All right? So, all right, give them some music. Y'all give them a we up here. Good job. Freaking bad. All right, Billy. They got enough. Guys, look. This is all it is. You're just up here talking junk. All we need to do is win. Put more money, pile it up. PhD piled higher and deeper, right? We did not lower the commission grid just for y'all. It's for everybody. All right, where y'all split? Right here? If this group will go that direction and exit stage, and if you guys will that exit stage, we'll see who's next. Go that direction. Love y'all. Proud of y'all. Give them a hand. Glad y'all are up here. Yeah.
Not only this
You ready?
matter again, sir, but
All right.
do it.
Round.
This
All right.
is the
Yes, ma'am. Awesome. All right, brother. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and start thinking. This year, upline, start helping them. You have, I stopped at 10,000, right? That was under 10,000. That was under 5? All right, well, let's check next level. Under 10. Don't come back if you're under 5. Don't start that. You're above 5. You ain't been up here, but it's under 10. We'll see how big that crowd is. Stand up. Let's see what y'all look like. Over 5. Over 5, but under 10. You know what? I'm gonna go up one more level. You're under 15. Less than 15,000. Over 5, but less than 15. Over 5, but less than 15. Just if you're over 15, just throw your hand up so I can see who y'all are. Over 15 this year, brand new. Oh yeah, we're gonna wait and get them up here. So less than 15,000 is you paid this year. This year, and it's your first year. Where y'all at? Stand up. And when he starts that music, same thing. I want y'all to get over here and come all up here. I want to get y'all to get up on here stage. I want to meet y'all. This is brand new people, over 10,000, over 5,000, but under 15,000. So between 5 to 15,000, y'all gonna get what these people look like and where they're from. Let's get some music. Y'all come on up. Man, we hanging out all the time. We're gonna get to know each other. Anthony, you go by Anthony or Tony? All right, Anthony. You gonna anchor position right here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Off
First
to a good
case
start.
was 102,000.
Nuh-uh. What did you sell?
It's 100.
Proud of you. Y'all come on up.
Hey, Dad!
Congratulations. All right. All right, y'all know how to do this. Y'all got to get your wave going on. Give it to them. Say, wish y'all was up here. Hey, you got to be waving. You got to be waving. There you go. Yeah. Damn. I bet he don't get referrals either. All right. Okay. Hand up there. Hands in the air like you don't care. All right. God, it's like work. I told him, I said, I bet you don't get referrals neither. This is the way Jeff Bright does. When he starts talking to him, this is the way he does it. You know, I say, raise your hand, raise your hand. Sit down, stay standing while you're sitting or standing. I try to get everybody in tune with, I'm not going to play around. You with me? Not mad. It's just like, this is just the way it's going to work out. You follow what I'm saying? So, and you can tell I want my music stop. It's just, let me tell y'all something. Can I tell y'all something? Y'all mind? Can I get permission? You get out of life pretty much what you tolerate. Like if you just want to accept it, bull crap. Oh, hell, no. That's not going to work out for me. This is not suitable. Does that make sense? And you go, well, you might get kicked out. Well, it'd be better than settling. That's the way I am. I go somewhere else and I got something. Somebody give me a sandwich with a little taste to it. That stuff. Does it make sense? Hey, listen. It's funny what you hear when you're talking to people and you come across here. Tell me first of all, tell me who you are and who you are. Step right over here when I see you.
Greg Rawl. I'm hired by Mike and Kerry Williams.
All right, tell them what you stopped and told me right off the bat.
My first case was a guy I met at the Chamber of Commerce. I knew each other a couple hours, and I sold him $8,500 a month IUL, putting in $102,000 a year for 20 years. And at 25 years, he's going to take out about $36,000 a month. Not bad, huh?
I keep looking at your name because I had a supervisor and a textile man, and his name was Greg Rao. And we called him Growl because that's all he did is growl. Should I say anything to him or just move on? Just move on. What was the top premium? I said, don't come up here if you've done over what? 15,000. So how many of y'all think 8,500 a month is more than 15,000?
Well, I only received about 14 of it yet, so.
Did I say how much money you got or how much is you paid?
That's what's in my bank account right now.
Which one did I ask? Which one did I ask?
You win, but hey, it could be charged.
It might get charged back. That's what he said.
Hey, he can pass away tomorrow.
It's your team, Paul. I like to make a mistake like that. At least he did get an $8,500 a month issue paid. None of y'all ever start running. Okay, where's my hablo español? Come here. Ay, caramba, Rosa. This is my new friend, Rosa. She speaks way more Spanish than me. But I speak mucho inglés than her. So I want you to tell everybody who she is and where she's from and stuff like that. Tell her that. Tell her say it in Spanish.
Mi nombre es Rosa Correa, soy venezolana y trabajo en Orlando.
What did she say? Andy is a dum-dum? Come here, interpret. Interpret for us, what do you call them, gringos or whatever you call them, crackers or something?
Gringos. Her name is Rosa Correa. She's from Venezuela, and she lives in Orlando.
All right. Tell everybody who you are.
Help me, Jesus. My name is Casey Williams.
Tell them what language you speak.
English.
Where are you from? Would you tell me first time I asked you?
In Missouri?
Missouri language.
Yeah. I got a little bit of everything.
Tell 'em.
Oh, God. My mom's white, my father's Mexican, my foster parents are Black American and Jamaican. So you put a little bit in the middle and there it is.
Oh, dude.
But hold the phone now. When I first met Andy, he told me I had a funny accent. I told him he ain't got no room to talk.
Oh, shoot. Who you hired by Mark?
Jake.
Jake. Tell him who you are. And where
Mark Burrows from Colorado.
Tell us what's declassified. What can you tell us about your military service? Will take you say how many years or something like that?
Yeah, 23. Jake and I were together in Iraq, Afghanistan, flying the mighty Kiowa. So, yeah, I was in the Navy. Started in the Navy and then switched to the Army so I could fly.
How long in the Navy?
8 years,
8 years in the Navy, and then
all 23, and whatever the math turns out. We're on stage. I can't do math on stage.
through that
23 total.
23 years, active military, helicopter pilot, special services, all kinds of stuff. We love you, man. We appreciate you. Matter of fact, who else military up here? Military, step forward. You're used to this. Step forward. Y'all cheer for these guys. Military folks. Woo! Thank you for serving, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, baby. Thank you. All right. All right, one more time. We need a little bit more music for these guys, Billy. Let's give them the waving. All right. All right, here we go. All right, let's do this right here. Y'all that direction. Exit. Y'all that direction. Give them a hand. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Proud of y'all. Way to go. Woohoo! Okay. Wait a minute. Growl, you stay up here. You come back up here. You just circle back up around. You belong up here with this next crowd. We're going to get you a coloring book. Come on back up here. All right. So that was under 15,000. You started writing business. So you've paid over 15,000, and this is your first year with us. Stand up. Where are you? Over 15,000. Any amount over 15,000. This year, your first year. Where are you? First year over 15,000. Give me some music and get these guys up here. Come on down here, Greg. Come on up. Over 15,000. First year. First year over 15,000. Who's that, Clete? Yeah, I remember meeting you because I remember your name because I said something about it then.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. Good to see you. Is Ed here? Ed, come on up. Come on up, Ed. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. So proud of you, girl.
I am really, yeah. Thank you so much.
What's up? There he is. See y'all. Good to see y'all. Oh, yeah. Congrats, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. How you doing? Good. See you. Hey. Good to see y'all up here. Yeah, y'all slightly over 15,000. Just a little. Didn't know where to come in. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Good to have you, man. Look at all y'all up here. Y'all everywhere.
What's up, baby?
Hey, man. kicking butt, girl. I'm proud of you. Oh, you're KP?
NP.
Come up here, KP. I got to talk to you. NP. KP is your girl, that girl you hired. Hey, something.
Seth and Adina Decker, Director Steven.
Good to see y'all.
You too. You too.
Nice
Appreciate
talking.
Sunday.
Steven, Steven Davis.
Yeah.
That's right. Y'all been killing it. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Wow. Okay. So this is new issue paid this year over 15,000. So if we missed anybody, join us. These are a lot of people that are kicking butt, taking names. First of all, I want NP. Okay, y'all know anybody that just goes by 2 letters? NP. You ain't gonna believe his name. Tell them how. NP, tell them how other people say your name.
Narasimha Pokampali.
Narasimha Pokampali. That's it? Narasimha Pokampali. How much have you issue paid this year since you've been with us? And first of all, when did you start?
Licensed in December. I think my first sale was in February
Last week of February. Yeah, last week of February. And how much have you issue paid so far?
I don't know the exact number, 140,000, and I haven't.
Like he really has. My staff, ABTF, my staff hired Narasimha. Narasimha? Is that right? Narasimha. And they had a lot of conversations with you. You're more talkative on the phone than you have been on stage. Tell them what's your background, Narasimha.
Oops. I'm from IT background, engineering and software and all the 9 yards. I have no idea about marketing or sales or any of those words. Those are foreign words for me. So I try to fix my financial problem first before going and fixing other people's problems. So I worked on 2 years. About 15 people tried to sell me IUL. They all failed. I went with 4 or 5 IMOs. They all tried to sell their IUL to me, and they all failed. Then I took upon myself. I studied it, read 4 or 5 books, and then finally I ended up in speaking to Clay and Andy and the whole team. And I finally signed up, okay, this is my IMO, and got started, and first fixed my problem, and started fixing other people's problems. I have, I guess, somewhere around 130 to 150, I don't know what the number is, and then I have another 100 to 150,000 in the pipeline right now. But it's not the numbers. What I'm really thrilled about is with my new career, challenges of replacing my old. It was not like I was jobless or something. I had a very good income, but I had to replace that. It was a big challenge. But numbers, money aside, I want to help people. IUL is one of the fantastic products out there, which is undersold, most complex product. I mean, I have to say shamelessly, I have no competition. But
You've hired other people. That's what I call Kay or Kat or something. What's her name?
I'll tell you a little story. All the people, that is Kavita Anumal Shet.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Karita Amochetti.
So what I did was, everybody who tried to hire me and did hire me in other IMOs, I went and rehired them in Allianz.
Yeah, baby. Because we're the best.
Yeah, we're the best so far.
What are you saying? Don't mess it up? Don't mess it up? Is that what you're telling me? We're the best so far. Don't mess it up. I bet you none of the other IMOs even tried to get your name right.
Well, not yet. I just signed for, I was doing due diligence, so I signed up with 4 or 5 IMOs because everybody tried to recruit me in their teams in the other IMOs.
We're the best.
Of course, I'm here. That's where I'm doing all my business.
Well, we want to encourage you more. We want to see you again at National Convention. We want to give you a ring as an agency manager, and we want to give you big rewards, and we're going to travel all over the world together, man. Have a good time. You got children? Where's she at? Daughter, stand up. What's her name?
The Srija Pokampali.
Miss Pokanali. Sure. Where's she at? Hey, your daddy's doing good. Your daddy's kicking butt, taking names. She's up on stage. All right, we got great people up here. I want to talk to all of y'all. Omar, how many people you got here?
5 people.
5 people. How many legs?
5 legs.
5 legs, 5 people here. How many legs you got here?
3. 8.
Like 4 legs. I don't know how many total. 30 plus.
Started this year. Tell me.
Dan Hoyt from the mean streets of Denver, Colorado, 35 years young. Omar Stewart from Nashville, Tennessee.
Nick Greco, Denver, Colorado.
Okay, let's do this real quick. First, last name, where you from, who hired you? We got to do quick, though.
Tyler Vasilic, Erie, Pennsylvania, and Mike Noel.
Michelle Lee, St. Pete, Florida. Stephanie Rodriguez.
Lee, St. Pete, Florida, Stephanie.
Greg Roll, Kerry Williams, Cleveland, Ohio.
Crystal Seaton, Sanford, North Carolina, Jess Phillips.
LaQuinta Chambers, Oklahoma, T. and Terry Edwards.
Sebastian Chambers, Oklahoma, T. and Terry Edwards.
Batman in Arcadia, Atlanta, Georgia, Nick Greco.
She got to come up here.
Arcadia, come up.
Please. 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 Y'all give her a hand. We'll come back.
David Fleming, Aurora, Colorado, Batman.
Chris Dingley from California, Otsoy, and Ozuna.
Sean and Kim Miller from Kansas.
And Hoyt brought us in.
Matthew Hughes, Lawrence, Kansas, and Mike Summer.
Nick Greco, Denver, Colorado, Jonathan Henderson.
Dan Hoyt, Denver, Colorado, this guy. Omar Stewart, Nashville, Tennessee, Louis Bade.
Christy Arn, Fort Worth, Texas. Awa Padden, Eminem.
Meeting all these names are just kicking butt.
Vasiki Sanogo, Florida, Anita Domingo.
You could compete with my man, Vasiki.
Carl Morrison, Winston-Salem, TNT, boom.
Athena Decker, Sarasota, Florida.
Seth Decker, Sarasota, Stephen Davis.
One more time.
Narasimha Pokampali from New Jersey.
Yeah, baby. All right, one more. I got to go. They're going to kill me. All right, biggest news lately.
The new comp plan is ridiculous.
Biggest comp plan is ridiculous.
She's pregnant.
We are pregnant. Hey, guys. Which one's the bigger news? No, it's not that. Hey, look right there. All right, guys. Give us some more music. You guys exit that stage. You exit this way. Glad you came up. It don't matter. Good job.
Chris walked me through the comp plan. It's built for builders. Now I can fucking give people.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Alliance stage, Mr. Robbie Kraft.
It is so good to see y'all. We went to a Dave Matthews Band concert last Friday night, and the first 2 minutes, people hadn't seen live music in 2 years, and everybody just went crazy, and Dave just sat there like, it's good to see y'all. I'm like, I hope he says something else besides it's good to see y'all tonight, but it is good to see y'all. You guys are the reason our corporate staff works so hard, and it is fun to give you guys a hug and say, hey, I got one suggestion for the ARC. And I'm like, great, let me grab, and like me and Tawny Carey had a great 30-minute talk last night, and I got lots of IDs. But I'm going to take 14, 15 minutes and kind of hit the highlights. So if you're brand new with us, I can kind of introduce you to the Alliance Resource Center, the ARC, A-R-C. And you can't spell ARC without R-C. But if you go to arc.naeleads.com, that's our main website. So I'm going to kind of walk through that. And hopefully, if you've been with us 10 years, you're like, oh, I forgot about that. And if you've been with us 10 minutes, you're going to say, man, that's really cool. I want to know more information about that. So if we can kind of trick ourselves into getting really, really excited about, for like the next 14 minutes, I'm going to need some audience participation. Like, that's right. That's amazing. That's changed my business. This is unbelievable. So I think if I go like this, it's going to pop up on the screen, maybe. Like that right there. Maybe. Yep. So that's what our website looks like. And as it'll come up in a second, but when you first log in, there's 4 gauges. Yeah, there's 4 gauges right here. So what we are telling you, the most important thing to succeed in this business is selling, recruiting, and building. At the Alliance, if that falls, Joe Dukes, that's you. So, at the Alliance, we are saying when you first log in the website, the most important thing to do is sell, recruit, and build. When you're selling, we're talking about dialing, talking to people, and booking appointments. When we're talking about recruiting, we're talking about interviewing, fast tracking, putting them in class, renewing contract, or filling out their contracts. So when you first log in, it's like the Apple Watch thing. It's saying, hey, have you thought about selling, recruiting, or building lately? Have you thought about adding your activity in these gauges? Well, why do y'all do that? Because we want to focus on the main thing, and we want to keep the main thing the main thing. Second thing you'll notice is a big month-to-date gauge. What is that? I just got fired up. That tracks all the money that goes into your bank account. Now, well, a big advantage that we have over all of our other competition is that we get data from the carriers. The carriers pay us and we pay you. That is how we're able to pay out these 45 levels that Andy was paying. Most companies can pay out 9, 10, 11. How much y'all pay out? 45. We also pay out 7 generational loyalty override bonuses. Or if you talk to somebody else, like, how's y'all's Globe program work? Like, what? Yeah, we have 7 Globe bonuses when you help somebody hit 15 grand, 7 point, or 25, 15, and 7.5. You're eligible for Globe bonuses, baby. That's on top of override. So anyway, I get excited about commission stuff, but just know that everything you make is right here, and all of your points for Alaska is right here. Big, real important thing. Scroll down like this. Okay, keep scrolling. Boom, keep scrolling. All right, upcoming events. Okay, upcoming events, very, very, very important. We want to know where you are traveling. If you're building a business, other people want to know where you're traveling, or I want to know where Stephen Davies is traveling. I want to know where Paul Roberts is traveling. I want to know where Andy Riddle is traveling. So if you click on this second little tab here, it says August training sessions. If you are going somewhere in August and training something, we want to know about it because we want to put it on this website. Everybody get on that? All right, next thing, if you exit that out. Oh, I got lit up the other day. I had one of you, I met you earlier and you apologize, but like, if you ever just like called somebody and cussed them out? That ever happened to y'all? So I did not do a good job answering the office phone, but you can call my cell phone and I'll answer it about 90% of the time. And this guy, I didn't know this guy's number, and he called me. He was like, Kraft, I heard you were the guy to contact. I mean, it's like just bad word. I would call it Christian cussing out it, but it wasn't nothing Christian. It was just like, what in the, it was just crazy. Like, just, I wrote these applications, and I talked to Mutual Omaha, and I talked to Foresters, and they sent you all the data, and it's in my ARC statement, but the money did not go in my account. And I said, dude, I'm really sorry that happened. Have you put in your direct deposit information? He said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, if you go to My Business right here and click on deposit information and click on that, that'll tell us where to put the money. So just free advice, unsolicited advice from Robbie Kraft. If y'all want us to pay us, will you tell us will you put your deposit information there so we can pay you? Three of y'all just raised your hand in your head and you're like, oh, that's me. Okay, so right now, put your account and routing in. Okay, so that's just a free tip on that. So the next thing I'll show you is if you're ever wondering where something is, there is a lot of very helpful things on the resources tab. The agent levels map. Yeah, right there. The agent level map that Andy just talked about is on there. So how do I get a copy of it? It's on the resources tab, agent levels. How do I get a copy of the 100% payout grid? It's on right there. God, we're getting good at that, Stephen Handy. Oh, by the way, it is Stephen Handy's birthday today, and he is the guy up there. So when you see him, give him a big hug and tell him happy birthday. So how does y'all's commission works? Well, the more you do with us, the higher level you get. Our comp goes from a 55 to a 140. So let's say you're at a 55. I really, really, really strongly suggest that you get promoted to 100 as fast as possible. Because at a 100% contract, it is very, very easy to calculate how much money you're going to make. At a 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, it's more difficult and it takes an extra step. But if you're at 100%, I'm kidding, I would. This is free advice. If I was at 100%, then I know I get this amount. So if I'm at 100% with Forrester Strong Foundation, I get 100%. If I sell, will you scroll down a little bit? If I sell a annuity with F&G Life, I get paid 6.57. But if you're not at 100, it's complicated because you got to take your level times that level. And just to save you time, I just promise you, everybody go to 100. Well, what happens at a 120? Well, then you get 120% of that number, and it's more better or more gooder or higher or whatever you want to say. Just I would recommend being at least 100 and then going to a 120 and helping a lot of people get promoted so your hierarchy volume goes up and your commission level goes up. Is that cool with everybody? All right, cool. So if you exit that out, go to the next one. I pulled up Stephen Davies. Is it okay if I show people? Hang on, don't. Oh, hey, we exit. I didn't get his permission yet. David Handy. All right, cool. Do you care if I show them your, not anybody's policy numbers, but just like your snapshot? Okay. Hey, he said he didn't care, Steven, so we pull that up. So if you can see this, everything, this is crazy. Nobody does this besides us, and nobody does it as good as our IT team. Any single dollar that comes in, Tony Hardy, Brianna Wallace, our awesome IT team, label that money as personal production money, override money, glow bonus money, 10, 11, 12 money, or renewal money. We can drop it in a bucket. So when you're looking at this right here, Davies has made 160 grand selling insurance. He's made over 300 grand in overrides, over 100 grand in glow bonuses. So he's grossed 650 grand so far this year. Well, Robbie, what's up with the minus 142? You know, I thought, well, like as somebody said earlier, chargebacks happen. So like if you were looking for a perfect business, this is not it. But I'm not sure, I don't want to have an argument, but I mean, you know, Davies has no debt because all of that is paid net from the companies. Guys, a huge advantage that we have, a huge advantage, is when you are building a business with us, the money comes to us and then we give it to you. If insurance companies were paying you and you hired an agent, they could have debt with this carrier, and get paid from these two carriers. And then if they leave, guess who gets to pay this bill and this bill? You do. So the way we have it set up, there's never a better place to build a business because everything you get is net deposits. You don't have to carry your balance with this company, and this company. When Integrity is looking at you for a partner, you're going to have no debt. And when Paul Roberts, when they partnered with Integrity, they're like, Paul, how much debt do you have? And he's like, I don't have any. How is that possible? Because of the ARC. baby. You're running a profitable business, and everything you get paid is debt-free. So, well, what? I mean, it's like I can spend 10 minutes on that, but just know that no one else has this, and they freaked out. Dennis Tralchek was like, how do y'all keep up with this? And like, we got smart people that run our system. So, Davies has made $508,000, $400.99 in his bank account. Next thing I want to show you, yeah, we can clap for that. Good job, Davies. Woohoo! Next thing I got 1 minute. Next thing I want to show you is the hierarchy production drawing. This just came out. It's really important for you to call and introduce yourself to people that are joining your team. We have made it really, really easy for you to identify people that are joining your team. If you go to Team Hierarchy Production Drawing and click on this right here, right there. Yeah, the color key pops up, and based on the color of the circle, you know if they're contracted, if they've been with us less than 30 days, more than, it's unbelievable. So it's red, they're in class but haven't gotten contracted, pink, they're brand new, and they just label it, it tells you where they're at in the process without having to research a bunch of stuff. Last thing I'll show you is the CRM. This has been a miracle. We set up all kinds of crazy, aggressive API data feeds to scrape client information off commission feeds so it automatically pops into your CRM. There's not a lot of manual work for you to do. Up Davies, he's got over 3,000 clients, and we label your clients when you're supposed to have a policy review, when you're supposed to write a conversion, when you want to do a Medicare sale, when you have a chargeback, you need to get back on the books, or Davies, you have 99 birthdays. So the birthdays has been the most popular thing by far. So we grab your client's date of birth and basically say, hey, you should call them and wish them happy birthday. So these, I could do a 7-hour seminar on ARC tools, but I just want to give you guys a heads up on a couple of things. The resources tab, welcome to ARC videos. Andy and our top leaders like to make things better about every 90 days. So if you want to track different shirts that I wear, next week I am redoing all of these videos. If you scroll down, so all of this stuff, like we just increased renewals on the 100% grid and just increased the agent level map. So like anytime I have a different shirt on in these videos, just know that something got better. Does that make sense? My name is Robbie Kraft. Thank you so much for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jeff Turner and Kelly Haney.
Hey y'all, how you doing tonight? Today, this morning, whatever it is. We are Jeff and Kelly Turner. We are fired up to be here with y'all today, coming all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Guys, I want to start with thanking Jane and Andy for giving us this amazing opportunity from stage. We do not take this lightly. Thank you so much. Paul and Tamara, thank you for always believing in Jeff and I and always giving us the kick in the butt that we need to keep going. So we appreciate that. Guys, both of us came from working crazy full-time jobs. When we started in the business, I started before Jeff did, and I was working crazy hours. I don't know if they can handle my schedule, so I thought we'd start with Jeff's to maybe warm you up a little bit before we start going into too much of that. But before we do that, who in here went through some mountains to get here this weekend? Come on, don't lie. We all go through something. There was flight delays, right? There was mama at home saying you can't go. There was a husband at home saying you couldn't go. A wife at home saying you couldn't go. Dog pooping on the floor, something, okay? But we're here. So what's important about the time we get to spend, y'all, is that you pour into the leaders that are here. We want to help you in any way we can, and the only way we know how to do that is to help y'all and pour into you. So hopefully this talk helps y'all a little bit to see where we came from, and I hope we can get one of y'all to move today. Babe, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I don't think they can handle your schedule, but maybe we can start with that and warm them up, you think?
Do you think mine was crazier than yours?
I think so, but
Okay, let's give it a shot.
go ahead.
Guys, does anybody know a small little company called Circle K? Little company, right? So I worked at Circle K before I came to the Alliance, and I was a nighttime warehouse manager. I know it's fun, right? It sounds fun. Everything you buy in that store came from us, okay? Now, the downside for me is that I was not paid that much. It sounded like I was paid a lot. They said, you're paid 65 grand a year, and I was like, okay, yeah,
That's a lot.
that sounds awesome. But when I really broke down the hours I was putting in, not a lot. My schedule, and this is funny because I was on a 4-day schedule, also sounds amazing. I would go in at 4 p.m. I would leave when the last truck left. Usually that was 5, 6, or 7 a.m. the following day. And I had to be there from open to close to get that out. I worked 4 days. I would get off Thursday morning, and hopefully I could get off at, 4 in the morning so that I could get a couple hours of sleep so that I could dial the following day at 8 a.m. Guys, I worked 7 days a week to be able to transition out of Circle K into the Alliance full time. Because I knew that I was made for greater things than working at a warehouse. And I had to do what I had to do, right? I'm not sure about y'all, but this is me. I had to do what I had to do to transition out. But love, I think your schedule was just about as crazy as mine was.
I don't know. I don't think I could do overnights. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not an overnight person. I like my sleep too much. So I would go in, guys. I used to work for a car dealership. I don't know if there's any other dealership people up in here that have been, tied to that building, but I would have an hour and a half drive in the morning. I would get to the office at 7 a.m., and I wouldn't leave till 7 p.m. with another hour and a half drive. I thought I was making good money. I was making $70,000 about a year, about $70,000. But when me and Paul sat down and he goes, Kelly, let's calculate how much you're putting into this job and into the man, it was $3.25 an hour. I don't know about y'all, but we can make $500 in an hour. That sounds like a lot better deal to me. I don't know. I did not get enough claps for that, just saying. So I was working 77 to 80 hours a week, and I still needed to get free. I knew there was something bigger that I was meant for, and I knew that that was not what I was doing. I had parts thrown at me. I was cussed at. So when they gave me a phone to pick up, I was like, let's go. Because nobody could throw anything at me through the phone. They could yell at me and hang up. Who cares? I had parts thrown at me, people. Like, if they could have thrown an engine, sometimes I think these big men would have thrown an engine at this little girl. But let's go. So when I said to Paul, I've got to get out, I knew there was a different way. There's a lot of things that he told me, but one of the things he told me was to take my vacation. And we're going to get to that in a second. But before I do that, I really want Jeff to explain what made his final decision, because I think all of us are here for a reason. And at these events, major decisions are made at these events. And it was both two major events that made us make our decision. So Jeff, why don't you tell them a little bit about what made you decide enough was enough?
I've kind of come to the conclusion that there's three types of people, right, that are at events. The first ones are the ones that are fired up crazy out of their minds, screaming and yelling. Isn't that right, Terry? Right? And you look at them like, what's wrong with them?
What you looking at me like that for?
Right? You got the second type of people that are like, I'm going to tag along. Let's see what this is about. Let's check it out. And then you've got me. And I'm in the back. I don't think this is real.
Yep, that was you.
Let's see if this really makes sense. I'm going to go find out. And my only goal really when I came at the time was to be on the stage speaking, and I'm doing that, but I also made a lot of money along the way. But the biggest thing for me is that I always knew I was meant for something better, something greater. And you may have heard this saying that pressure can bust pipes, but it also can create diamonds. What I realized is that I was so comfortable in my job knowing that I had a paycheck every 2 weeks, that I didn't push myself in this business. I worked 7 days a week, but I did not work 7 days a week. Okay? I had to put pressure on myself to perform, and I had to get out of my comfort zone in order to do that. And so it was a family reunion that I decided I was going to throw the stapler at my boss, fire him, and best decision I ever made, because last year was my first full-time year that I issue paid over $250,000.
Yeah, you did. So for me, it was an Instant Thunder. It was a smaller, for those who have been to Instant Thunder, I can hopefully get an amen on that. They were more intimate, but I got to hear success stories after success stories, after freedom story after freedom story of people making it happen and people taking that leap of faith, that child faith, and just going. I was held to knowing every 2 weeks I was getting a paycheck. So I was complacent in the fact that I didn't want to take that leap. I was like, no, my bills are being paid, I'm good. I came back after Instant Thunder, and that first week back, I think I called Paul and I said, I can't be here. Within an hour, I had been screamed at, cussed at, and yelled at. I can't do this. There's got to be something we can do. And he said, look at your schedule, see if you have any vacation time. Guys, I took a week of vacation, came back 2 weeks, took that week of vacation. In that week, me saying I can never write life insurance wrote over $10,000 in business in that first week.
Yes, you did.
I made $5,500, and I made that in a month at the dealership. And I think Paul said, there's your sign. I don't think he said it like that. He would never say that to me, but I think he was like, here you go. Guys, what I want you to hear from us is that you can do this too. There is nothing special about Jeff and I. He issue paid $250. I think I was $168. What I'm saying is we just do step 2 in the 8 steps to success. We do the cuss word nobody wants to talk about, work.
Oh, we said it, Terry.
We said it, Terry. Y'all have to work. This is not something, Megan Wood did not issue pay 1,100 applications without working, without making some people not so happy with her. But she has still found time to make sure she's there for her family and to make sure she's there for her son. But with this freedom that we have here at the Alliance, and now, good Lord, what Andy just did with the comp plan, holy.
It's insane.
I'm not going to cuss on stage. Sorry,
insane.
Jane. Holy cow is all I'm going to say. Like, there is nothing that should be holding you guys back. If you're scared, understand, was it perfect for Jeff and I? No, we had failures. I remember I went out for 30 sales and made nothing. 30 no-shows, 30 no sales. And I called PC Club and I was like, what am I doing? They tweaked one thing and I went back out and killed it. Guys, this business, you have to continue to evolve and continue to learn it. But I promise you, it's 1,000 times better than me sitting and having parts thrown at me. And babe, I know it's better than you having to work till 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning because you like your sleep too.
I do, and I didn't get any sleep at all. But you know what it was for me? I actually didn't believe that I could do this. And because I didn't believe that I could do this, I procrastinated, and I counted on that paycheck. And guys, I did that for about 2 years before I actually decided to make the jump after family reunion. That's a long time.
The procrastination will kill you. And I think we all have it. And if there's one thing that Jeff and I could beg you to do this weekend is to let the namesayers stay in the background. Don't let the devil win. Listen to who's on these stages and that are pouring into you. They didn't just get up here to talk to you. They're pouring their hearts out to you. And Jeff and I just want you to know that you guys can too. We want you to come with us on our financial freedom journey. We don't want to be the only one at the top. We're Going Integrity Partner, and we want you all to come with us. We are Jeff and Kelly Turner, and I found my classy so I can keep it sassy. Thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Chris Norris and Amber Bowen.
Or start. How are you guys doing? Y'all, that was really sad. How are we doing? That was way better. So we're BAM, Burlington Alliance Capital Management. If you don't know us now, you're about to get it ready to know us. So I'm Amber, and this is Christopher Norris. He can tell you a little bit more about us as well.
All right, good afternoon. I am Chris Norris. I run Burlington Alliance Capital Management. That is, all right. So, as Amber said, we are a registered investment advisory firm, but really, we help you guys write more annuity business. How many of you guys want to make more money? All right, like Amber said, that is weak. How many of you guys came here this weekend to make more money? All right, Terry, where's your group? Terry, I need to hear more cowbell. All right, thank you. All right, guys, so we were designed as a tool. Well, wait a minute. I don't want you guys to think of us as tools.
We're not tools.
Let me rephrase that. I am not a tool. You guys may call us that sometimes, but we are a resource that was put together to help you guys to make it easier to write more annuity business and to help move more money and get paid faster. That was really what we were designed to help you guys do. So Andy Albright and Jane Albright put us together to help it make it easier to transition, to move money so that you guys don't have to feel like you're pulling teeth to move money from those brokers, you know, and to make it easier to get paid faster. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and kind of what's happening in the world. Andy said it earlier today, the IRS has made it easier for one to get paid. They've done some things in the world. The largest wealth transfer in history is about to happen. We're going to talk about that. But I'm going to let Amber kind of talk about, you know, the way that we do business and give some examples and some stories of what's kind of going on.
Yeah, so in a minute, he's going to kind of go more in depth about what all we can do, but I would like to kind of give you a scenario of how you guys can get us involved when you are meeting with your clients. Because our main goal for you is when you find a client and they want to start talking about their retirement, that you know exactly the steps to take, kind of get us involved and let Chris help you sell that deal for you. So basically what you would do is you go to your normal leads house and you're sitting in there with the client and they're interested in life insurance. So you go through the ATM, and as you're going through that ATM, you start asking them questions and filling out what we call is a green sheet. And if you've never heard a green sheet before, we have them on our desk out there. Go find them. It's basically going in and writing down all of the client's information about their finance. What's in their checking account? What's in their 401k? Do they have other retirement accounts? So you're writing all that stuff down, and that's important stuff for you to know no matter what you're selling. And then you're going to go back and sell what you came there to sell. You came there to sell life insurance, so sell them the life insurance. Once you get through that, you need to start having that conversation with them. Well, how does your retirement look? And when they start to pull out all those statements that you asked for earlier, for the 401ks or the Roth IRAs and all that good stuff, you can actually talk to them about how you have a partner, Christopher Norris, or what else they call you, Chuck Norris, the insurance man, the annuity man. But we have one rule though. There is one rule. When you do start talking about your partner, Chris Norris, we don't say what.
But
No, not that. The other thing.
We don't say annuity.
That's right. We never talk about annuity. What do you always say it is?
First rule of Fight Club.
First rule of Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club. So we don't talk about annuities. Most people, they don't like what they see when they Google the word annuity. It's not a bad thing. It's just what the internet tells them. That's all they know off of an annuity. So you tell them about Chris. You kind of spruce up that relationship, and then you get on Chris's calendar for a time that you and your client can speak to Chris about their assets and send us all of those statements so that Chris can look over their program and can kind of figure out what is the best plan for them and how we can push some of those funds over into an annuity to help you guys sell annuities and IULs. About right? Am I missing anything?
Sounds about right. No, you hit the nail on the head. So again, guys, we want you guys to use us. Again, we're a resource, not a tool. Make sure you're using the green sheet. Everybody's using the ATM when you're in the house. Everybody knows what a green sheet is, I'm assuming. Or if not, reach out to us. We do have a booth out there. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the tax law changes. Don't fall asleep. The IRS did some things. Andy talked about it earlier. 7702 is one of the things that's coming out. But what it's done is it's put life insurance and agents in the forefront. Guys, life insurance is going to be needed. It's going to be used. It's got to be used. The tax laws are in flux. It's more critical and crucial than ever that you have a financial advisor. COVID-19 opened Pandora's box. The new technology in the market is crucial. Consumerism is at an all-time high. New industries and new tech are coming. Roth conversion. Annuities are going to be valuable. Gifting. But you have to be an advisor. You have to stay on the forefront. Right? Again, life insurance. You guys, everybody in here sells life insurance, right? Right? Did you guys know that we can help you guys not only with annuities, but we can show you how to fund life insurance for your client? So we can show you how to take the money that we help invest, turn it into tax-free retirement moving forward. If you don't know how to do that, we can show you how to do those things. But instead of us standing here talking about how we can help, we're going to invite some of your peers to come up.
Absolutely. So Belle, you're out there, and Joe, you guys come up here, and Brian.
That's right. Give them a hand.
And while they're walking up here, get your cell phones out and text this number for us. And when you text this number, it is not only going to give you our contact information, but it's also going to give you a link to Chris's Simply Book Me site. And that's where you're going to go while you're still in the home with the client to book a time on Chris's calendar for you, your client, and Chris to talk about all the options that he can provide. Even if they have Edward Jones, this is the craziest thing, and I know Andy kind of touched on it earlier today when he was introducing all the carriers, but in all honesty, if they have an Edward Jones account, Chris can literally pull up their portfolio and show them how much better of a portfolio that we have and the lack of fees that we have that Edward Jones has been all in there. And your client will just be blown away. So it is a win-win. At the end of the day, they can just see the difference. It doesn't cost them anything to have a consultation with Chris. So you need to. But anyways, this is why you got your phone out. You're going to text the number 336-660-2782. That is going to give you all of our contact information as well as that Simply Book. Okay? All right. So we have Belle, who is amazing. And Chris, I guess you can.
Yep. We'll go ladies first. All right. So Belle Kraus. Okay. So we had done a couple of different questions, but really, I think we just want to get Belle to share with us how she leverages her partnership with BAM, your business. Can you just share with the audience maybe how you use us, how you leverage the partnership?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I got to let you guys know when I first got licensed and we had our annuity lineup, I was scared to ask the retirement questions because of my lack of knowledge on how to help with those products. And not just my lack of knowledge for not knowing, but my lack of knowledge that could mess up someone's retirement years. I mean, that's some pressure. Life insurance to me is pretty simple. You get them a policy, they die, it pays. Nothing confusing about that. When it came to the retirement things, I was nervous about what I didn't know and nervous that because of my lack of knowledge, I would mess up someone's like future plan. And then Andy brought on BAM. And so now the way that I operate is in the confidence that I don't have to know. I just have to know who to call. I just have to let them know I'm here to make an introduction with the Chuck Norris of retirement planning. That's what I tell my clients. So we go through our appointment, like Amber said, we go through the appointment, we go through the ATM, and then we circle back. And the one thing that Chris has taught me is I don't talk about their money. I talk about their goals with money. Money is the tool. Like, we ain't the tool. The money is the tool, right? So when you talk with a family about their goals with the money, that allows you, and that green sheet kind of leads you into that, but it allows you to then come to that client and say, you know what? I have a partner who is the master of retirement planning. I'm like, his name's Chris Norris. He's the Chuck Norris of retirement planning. And he can help you buy that RV and travel like you want to. He can help you retire down in Arizona and see your grandkids more like you want to. Because y'all, it's never about the money. It's about what they want it for. And if I can talk to them about what they want it for and schedule the appointment for Chris to talk about what to do with it to get there, then it's the perfect partnership. Because now I'm on their team trying to accomplish their goal. And Chris is there to show them how they can do it. And so I think the biggest thing that I do that may be different than other people is the edification of Chris, the willingness to just turn my client, I guess, retirement resources and information over to Chris in total trust that we are partners. And he's going to do what's best for the client, which is what I want done too. And as partners, he's got his expertise and I got mine, but I still get paid good, right? He does the work, but I still get paid, y'all. So don't miss that part. He will help you out. That's what they're here for, but we still get paid when we are able to do that annuity or to transfer that money over for management, for wealth management, because the annuity is not always the answer. And due to suitability laws, maybe there's a portion that goes to an annuity, but there's a portion that can't. And because Chris is licensed differently than we can, he can move all the money into an account that is managed by them, and now you have an advocate that when it is time for that annuity, when it does come time, then you're the one who writes it. And Chris did that great for me at the beginning of the year. We worked on a case for about 3 years. 3 years before the annuity happened. Yeah, that's a $750,000 annuity. And it came back to me to write because Chris is our partner. He's here to help us help our clients better.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, well, so tell us a little bit about how you've utilized BAM within your business.
Wow. How have I utilized BAM, man? You guys are amazing. I tell you, I've been in the business for a long time, about 15 years with the Alliance now. My name is Joe Walker out of Seattle. And what, squad? Get some more of that later on. I've literally, I dipped my feet into the annuity world early on as fast as I possibly could and failed miserably. I mean, I've literally lost millions of dollars in annuities, man, just trying to do it wrong. I mean, if you remember how Steve Martin used to dance and he was just like, whoop, whoop, you know, that's how my annuity game was. It was horrible. And I saw just person after person being up here, you know, doing something with annuities, and I always knew that I really wanted to improve my game with the annuities, and I tried to get better and better. But when you guys came through, man, I mean, it was like being introduced to the financial judo experts. You know, you guys just were able to do absolutely amazing things for our clients. Some stuff that we wouldn't even be able to approach, or even the questions that came up, or for our clients that we weren't even able to touch what you guys are able to do right now. So what we're able to do with our clients and serve them by introducing them to you is solve way more problems than we ever could by ourselves. And it has just been an absolute privilege to work with you guys. It's unequaled in the industry what we have with BAM. I really hope you guys know that, and the advantage that we have with working with you, Chris and Amber and the entire team. It just has revolutionized our business. It's revolutionized how we're able to serve our clients. And we're just excited for the future. I mean, there's just no stopping us with the resources that we have, guys. It's been absolutely. So thanks.
Hey, how are you?
Amazing.
And tell us all about BAM.
So I'll kind of tell you guys. By the way, my name is Brian Rojas. I'm out of Tampa, Florida. And one of the things that, like, as an agent for me, that you guys have like revolutionized in my world this year is just the amount of time able to leverage as an agent. You know what I mean? I think Mel Krause hit it in the head, but like with trust and notification, that's amazing. But like as an agent, when you're running 30 or 40 appointments a week and you find this safe money, it's like the fact that I'm able to leverage you, Chris, and you, Amber, where you guys literally, as long as I get everything signed, you guys take over the whole thing and help me out with it. I can just focus on what it is that I do best, which is selling life, right? Helping our clients with life. And you guys get that taken care of until the point until it gets approved. So, guys, I'll give you an example. You mind if I go into this? All right. All right, so I had a client. Her name's Julie. Good old Julie Castleberry. She filled out a final expense lead, and she wanted to make sure that she had enough money for cremation. Right? Cool. We got her a $5,000 cremation policy, $13 a month, and she told me, "Hey, do you guys deal with like 401ks and retirements?" I'm like, "Well, that's way above my pay grade, Terry." But we're partnered with a friend of ours. His name is Chris Norris. We call him Chuck Norris because with retirement. And I think you should talk to him. The lady had about $42,000 in her 401k. Now check this out. Everything was done clean. Everything was done good by Amber and Chris. And somewhere along the line, something got messed up with her account to the Silac Silac company. And guys, I did not know how much work Amber does. There was about 20 threads of emails just that she took care of for me, and I never moved a finger. I would have lost that $42,000 if it was up. I just wouldn't have time. I wouldn't have known how to fix that. But thank God for Ben for helping us out and for all that work that Amber has done. I mean, just following up with the insurance companies, following up with the transfer. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think something that has changed in my world. Sure.
Awesome. Thank you. And it's awesome. These guys, they've all utilized us differently in all different areas, but the biggest thing is they utilize us. So we are looking forward to you guys coming out there and meeting us down at the table, showing you some of the green sheets, and you guys reaching out to us more and utilizing us. But up next, we have the privilege of introducing the main man, Andy Albright.
All right, y'all grab a seat. Hey, listen, we are hiring security brokers. So if you know people, Northwestern Mutual, any of those companies, and they feel like, and I can tell you this, I was just talking to a guy, we pay about, walk in the door, they're going to make about 25% more commission with Chris and Amber than they do wherever they are. I don't care, Edward Jones, any of those. And they're frustrated. They got no leads. They got very limited products, all kinds. So just let y'all know that Chris is hiring people. So you put them in your hierarchy, life-wise, and then he'll help them with the money-wise, and it'll compound itself. Does that make sense? Just let you know, all those guys are open game too. Hey, I got a couple people I want to get up on the stage. There's some very special people that are brand new agency managers. Marcus and Carla Richardson join me on stage. Where you at, Marcus? Brand new agency managers. Keith and Linda Goebel. Come on up on stage. Lou and Edie Abadi. Good stuff, y'all. Come on up. Jara Gonzalez. Jerry and Cassie Burbage. All right, y'all come on up front. Come up here in the spotlight. All right. Okay. Come up here, Lou. Tell them who you are. New agency manager. Tell them who you are, where you from, who hired you, and it'd be good is to see what your job background. Like, what have you done? What's your favorite job? Highest paying job? Okay.
I'm Lou Abadi, Bradenton, Florida. Hired by Andy Riddle about 5.5 years ago. I have been a commodity trader most of my entire life, straight out of high school up until 9/11. That was my.
Some of us don't know what a commodity trader is.
Gold, silver, platinum, coffee, sugar, cocoa, anything like that was traded. So that's what I did for. I did that for 22 and a half years. That was my playing for the New York Yankees and the.
Like, did somebody pay you a salary to do that, or did you get paid? Were you on commission only, or
commission only and trading? So I had clients all around the world.
Talk a little more into that.
I had clients all around the world that would give me trades, and then I would be in the ring trading for them and myself. So I basically made my own living that way.
Nice. So where were you doing that out of?
I'm sorry, where was I?
Where were you located? Was that at your basement, or your house? Or
No, it was in the World Trade Center.
It's a World Trade Center.
Yes, sir.
So the one that went down, you worked in that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Where were you the day that happened? Inside that building. Well, we're glad you made it out.
Me too. Thank you.
How many friends did you have that didn't make it out?
17.
17. Sorry for your loss, man. So did you enjoy the heck out of commodity training?
Loved it. There was nothing better than that. Besides this, that was my ultimate job.
Absolutely loved it.
I didn't think I'd ever find anything else like
that you liked as much. How do we compare?
This is so much better. I get to do when
so
I want.
So you loved that.
Oh, loved.
And now love this more.
Yes. I travel with this. I make money with this. I set the times I want to set. I don't have to go into drive into Manhattan every single day. I don't have to drive to Manhattan every day. That was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, that don't sound like fun.
No, it wasn't.
And then where'd you go to school?
I just went to high school. I never went to college.
How the hell how'd you get into that commodity trading thing?
Good.
Recording in progress.
All
right. If you had 30 seconds to tell these guys something, what would be on your heart to tell them? Oh, tell them where Edie is and how long you've been married and kids.
My wife is on her way here. My mom had a stroke days ago. My finishing up helping out. She's traveling. She should be here in about an hour. We're married 32 years, 2 kids. Son Nicholas is 26. My daughter Brittany is 23. Love the heck out of my family. My family's amazing. The biggest thing I can tell you is listening to Andy Riddle to me, Andy Allwright to me. When I listen to them, if I don't listen to them, things just go sideways. As soon as I get track and I start listening to them, everything just works for me. I wanted to hit agency manager, and we talked about it in January with both of them. They set me on track, and I hit it. Now I'm setting other goals. Andy Riddle and I were just talking about it. We had a new goal for me, and we're going to keep going from there, and I'm not.
You heard something, man. Proud of you, bro. By the way, tip for those of you that want to know, nerves of steel right there. I'm telling you, stuff going on right there. All right, Cassie, come on up here. Jerry, who you are and what kind of work you did. A little bit of that stuff we hammered on yesterday. Real clear.
Hey guys, we are Jerry and Cassie Burbage, hired by Andy Riddle. 3 years. We started our first conference was
job. Job. I ain't talking about business. Job. What did you used to do?
Job. I used to do construction. She did property management. 14 years.
Tell them what construction. Tell them what you did. Not construction.
Swinging a hammer.
You pick up a hammer. Did you have one of them belts like that handyman guy had?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Drop down there.
Still,
you still got it. Does he ever wear it just for fun?
She likes it.
Oh, no, don't send it. I don't want to see it. I don't want that in my head.
Yeah.
How much they paying you to do that?
Oh man, a whole 40,000 in a whole year.
And what happened? Did you get hurt or something?
Yes, I was helping a gentleman put some 80-pound bags of concrete onto a trailer, and messed up my back, my lower back, doing it. And the doctor said needed to find a different way to make some income, not so physical. And I think I answered a ad Andy's office was running at the time, and here we are.
So let me ask you this: did you love doing that concrete hammer and
love
saw?
it. I enjoyed the after.
You like seeing you completed,
right?
Yeah. How you like this compared to that?
A whole lot better.
What do you like better about this than that?
Oh,
What
man.
didn't you like over there? You'd have to drive into Manhattan, I don't guess.
No, but you ever been down to Kiowa?
Yeah.
Seabrook? You know that long road you had to drive?
Yeah.
I had to drive down that. I had to drive an hour and a half every day.
To do and then get out of the truck and go to work.
Right. And sit
You
in
like-
traffic.
And sit in traffic. And make 40,000 a year. Or 30.
Right.
You like this better?
Oh yeah.
You went agency marriage. What'd you make? You got any idea what you made first 6 months with us?
Think about 80.
$80,000
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
Tell us about the kids. Tell us about your family. How long y'all been together and stuff?
We just celebrated 1 year of marriage. When we planned our wedding, it was during COVID, and we had to uninvite over 400 people.
Yep.
And we did a separate ceremony, just family. We didn't get to take a honeymoon.
Yeah.
At that time, Alaska was going to be our honeymoon.
Yeah.
That got canceled.
Yeah.
So we didn't go anywhere. We just went to Vegas for a whole week. Got paid while we were there,
Yeah,
which
you
was
did.
great.
Did you ask off work?
Nope. Well, kind of.
So, kids.
So we have, I have a 12-year-old from a previous marriage.
Yay.
Jerry stepped in and is taking very good care of him, treated him like he was his own.
Uh-huh.
He's been in our life since Zachary was 7.
That's all.
That's it.
All right.
Just the one.
Y'all need somebody just like these in your business. Congratulations. Congratulations. Proud of y'all. Same thing. So much your job and
Okay. Hey, y'all. My
Invite
name is Jera Gonzalez, and I'm
Recording in progress.
in New Mexico. And I was hired by my dad, Jerry Gonzalez. Part
There
of
we
my
go. Hello, Tia.
team. And before the Alliance, I always worked in marketing. So I had a
Hello. Okay. How are you?
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just trying to make sure that
what'd you do?
we have the right
Put it on the internet or
sound system.
did you write words, copy?
I
Did
did
you
a little
sell
bit
print?
of that. I mean,
How was
immediately.
that? Can you hear me?
Your sound's coming in good. I was actually
Can you-
selling products.
can you
on
hear me,
Amazon.
Tia?
So I had my own Amazon business. I had to invest in
Uh,
a bunch of inventory, and then if
Okay,
it sold,
how's
great.
that, right?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you now.
And
Can you hear me?
What kind of income was you generating? All that.
I hear you some. It's just very low.
Probably
No.
between 50
Hold on.
and 8,000.
How much you
Okay, try talking again.
To date.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you
Good stuff.
Can you hear me?
How do you,
I can hear you.
compared to that?
Same
You like this
system.
better or you like this better?
Can you hear me, Tia?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
You know, it's
Okay,
I'm gonna.
Billy
is
you can probably see Andy already live on stage.
I'm
gonna hang up. You're not gonna see my face anymore, but you'll still, do you see Andy's face? I can see the three people on stage. With one
Good.
person. When they're done talking, you'll go live on the back screen, and Andy will talk directly to you. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna run downstairs. So you just hang tight. Thank you.
Did you go to college?
I did.
Where'd you go?
University of New Mexico. I got a bachelor's and master's.
What's your master's? What is it in?
My bachelor's is in a double major in mass communication and Spanish,
Yeah.
and then an MBA.
I thought maybe the secret was to not go to college, but you blew that. Hey, what about this new comp program? You think you're gonna kill it?
I'm fired up.
Hey, so the biggest question I've got is, are y'all still going to give readings to the agency manager? Because I know I'm going to agency manager. And the answer is, yeah, duh. I have an agency manager, don't have a reading.
Brian, I'm gonna have you test your volume one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I just invested in a.
I'm ready to go. I hope you're ready to go.
Seriously, how many of y'all going to agency manager by January? All
right, try talking again, Brian.
Recruit
thank you. I'm here. I've got all of Andy's books.
You heard that?
So I can learn something, so I can become smart.
Okay.
That's my goal, is to become smart by reading Andy's books. Keep him on here, okay? All right. I'm going to keep you on just to make sure it's running smooth.
Hi, we're Keith and Linda Goebel,
See?
Kansas City, Missouri, director
See
Adam and Beth Katz.
all of Andy's books.
So we got married in college. At that time, just like a lot of people, we thought that degrees were the way to go to be successful. So we got Linda has a chemistry degree and went back and got a information technology degree. And we went out and started going that way and looked for something else. Thought, hey, let's start a business. So we manufacturing, and nothing really stuck, nothing really went. So we thought, hey, we need to get a building and a bank loan, because that will make us successful. Then we'll have to do it, and the bankers will make you work. And we went out. We had multiple businesses, restaurants, had roughly 100 staff, and about 1.2 million in debt.
Is everything okay? No, it's just hot as hell in here. I'm pouring perspiration.
It's like it's the fun part to tell
Just
you
turn it down. Turn it down more.
2008, 2009, when the economy crashed,
Please.
we had five.
It's where I'm sitting. It's hot as blaze. I'm pouring perspiration,
Do you need
Barbara.
that light on, that big one?
Yes, I do. I just need the.
I have. Annually, and we were sitting
Okay.
at about 3.51 annually. So we really never saw any of that coming.
You were spending more than you were making.
Yeah. And obviously I don't know quite how much, but I know we
You
never.
didn't mind reinvesting in your business. You
No.
thought, we're building.
We're building. Yep, exactly. I mean, first 6 months we opened one store. We were putting a contract on the next one, and we were doing build outs. And well, I mean, not only did we take our bankers' money and sink it in, we had investors, and then we cashed out our $600,000 we had in our 401k, and we were in our early 30s at the time. And so we were all in, and then we watched it all fall. And so we had, I mean, your lead bill's $1,000. I mean, really? I had rent in one place on a monthly
really?
basis. Yeah, $19,000, one restaurant's monthly rent, 19 grand. Had all, I mean, 30-some thousand in payroll
You like
every
this better?
single week.
You like this better?
This is much better. This is way better. Yeah. So anyway, we watched it tumble, and then I thought we lost everything. We lost our house. We lost all of our businesses. We had no money in the bank. We literally, for a couple months, we were without a house. And I bumped into the Alliance about a year and a half after that, and it was just such.
You went to tell a girl not to do it, right? You went.
Yeah. Yes. You want
went
you want
to the
all
meeting.
that? Yeah. So a dear friend of mine was looking into. She was going to go to a business meeting. She was going to do this. This guy was coming in. He was a big deal, and they were gonna. Her friends doing this thing. They're making a ton of money, and I'm like, whoa, hang on. This sounds sketchy. So, and I am a businesswoman, so I thought, let me, right? Yeah, right? Successful, no, but let me check it out for you. Let me make sure it's not a scam, because it sounds terrible. And she gave me your name, and she kind of knew the name of the alliance, and I went home and I Googled it, because that's the smart business person that I am, right? So I just researched it, and 4 hours later, I called her and I said, hey, when's that meeting? I'm going to do that thing. So I'm for real. Because I saw the heart of the company, right?
Yeah.
And I saw who you worked with
Yeah.
and who you were connected to. I'm like, these are my kind of people.
And Rick Green.
Yeah, yeah.
And John
Man,
Maxwell.
check the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been great. And then I also, you had the income calculator
Yeah.
on the website. And I thought, oh, we can make our life, we can get back to where we were.
Yeah.
We can get out of the below zero that we were.
Speaking of that, Robbie, do we have if we don't have, we should have an income calculator on the ARC. And Alex Abian can help you design something, but something simple, something sweet, quick, so we can show people.
Yeah,
I love
huge.
that.
Yeah. So then, that's it.
Now you become
Here
agency
I am.
managers. How many
Yeah.
how many different people y'all got right in business?
We have about 16 agents strong in the field.
16
right now.
every week, right in
Yep,
business.
Yep. Yeah,
Good
it's
stuff.
good.
What do you think y'all gonna do with this new comp program? You think y'all gonna blow it up out of the water?
My goodness, yeah, it's exciting, and I think not only that, but I think our team is gonna. I think they're gonna see it and grab it, be like, I can get there quickly. In fact, a couple of them have already
We
put
get
their
y'all to go
stake.
lunatic like y'all did with those other businesses.
We're there.
Multi-million.
Yep.
Multi-million. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Okay, love y'all. Proud of y'all. Congratulations, new agency. Actually, almost district managers.
No, district.
You
Well,
are. They're new.
we are
They
district
skip
managers.
right to agency manager to district manager. That's what we should do in January is introduce 50 new district managers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Proud of y'all. All right, brother. Tell them.
Yes.
Tell them the stuff about Marcus and Carla.
We are Marcus and Carla Richardson. We are hired by and direct to Andy and Jane Albright. Carla and I have been married 17 years. We have two beautiful children in the back there, Adriel and Maya. Adriel is 13. He's the make it rain. They want y'all to come. Adriel, Maya, come on. You probably got to wake Adriel up, Josh.
Have y'all seen the video of that little kid doing the $100 bills? We need to send that out, but that's him.
So Adriel's 13 now, and then Maya is 12. I mean, it's been an awesome ride. Carla is child care certified, so when we were in the transition of what we thought we needed to do, obey God's voice and take this leap of faith, my wife, who used to run a child care center, and so she was direct certified, and she was looking at me, and she's like, I like the fact that both of us are at home and kind of hanging out, but somebody got to make some money. We got to do something. So Carla got director certified, ran a daycare, and she did that for a little bit, and I got my insurance license before this, and I was working with a company called American Income Life. I did that for about 11 months. In the course of the 11 months, we made about $20,000 over 11 months with a family of 4.
How many months?
11.
With another company?
Yes.
What was wrong with them?
I like to say it could have been me. I don't know. I don't like to point the finger. But it was so, like, they bring you in, they treat you like an employee. They tell you what you have to do, and if you don't do it, they don't give you leads. It's not real entrepreneurial, and it was real transactional.
Yeah.
It wasn't relational. It wasn't what you do with us.
Yeah.
How you dig into our stories, learn who we are, love us. It wasn't any of that. It was go make it sell. I don't care how you make it by any means.
Yeah.
So we did that for 11 months, and then my dad saw this first. He went to a business overview with his stepmom and said, "Hey, son, I got a good feeling with the company. Go check out the leads. It's life insurance. You already got your license." So I went down, and that was where you and I had the conversation about coming down and meet.
Yeah.
And you guys might have heard the video, but I never forget it. There's a couple that still stick with me. He said, you got to make up in your mind that you make it.
Yep.
I said, okay, I got that. He said, you got to stay humble.
Yeah.
I said, I can do that too. And then you said, you know that scripture that talks about getting wisdom and knowledge? I said, yeah, I'm familiar with that one. He said, well, that's what you are in this business. You need to come down here and get some wisdom and knowledge. You need to come down here and meet me. And I said, okay, well, down here where? He said, Dallas. I said, are you talking about Texas? He said, yeah. Okay, all right. And then you asked me, you said, you got any money? I said, nope. And then he said, you got any relatives who let you borrow some money? I said, nope. I'm that guy you hit the red button on. Like, they don't want to hear from me right now. And then you said, well, you got a credit card. I said, I got a credit card. He said, well, can you use your money on a credit card and get down here? I said, well, we're paying our mortgage on the credit card, so I don't know if I can. He said, well, I'll make you a deal. And so that deal you made, and that changed my life. I'll never forget when I was coming down there, you said, well, Bo, this is going to make a great story someday. Just can't quit to tell it. So 10 years later. 10 years later.
What was the deal I give you? What'd I do?
You said if you can cover getting down here, I'll pay for your conference ticket, I'll cover the hotel, and I'll feed you, and we'll spend some time together and have a conversation and get to know each other.
So you just had to get there.
Yep.
You bought a plane ticket on your credit card.
Yep.
Instead of putting your mortgage on your credit card.
Well, we was already broke, so, they give you 90 days. They give you 90 days to figure it out. So
Hey, give these guys a hand. Our new agency managers. Wait. I'll let you introduce these. Tell us about these kids. Tell us about these kids.
This is Adriel. He is 13 years old. He's into gaming. And but what I love about my son, I was thinking about this conversation that we had at Treasure Island when you asked him if there was one thing that he can wish for, what would it be? And he thought about it, and he thought about it, and he said it was wisdom. And Andy, he was like, did you guys tell him to say that? And we were like, no, but that is his prayer. You teach children at a very young age, to want to go for the things that no one can take from you. You can lose your house. You can lose your car, materialistic stuff. Relationships come and go. Some are up, some are down. But that's something that as long as you're living, no one can take from you. And so that's Adriel, just a little bit about him. He's always trying to figure it out, how to understand. Very persistent. That's one of his great qualities. Maya, she's 12. She is our dancer. She is our, she loves books. She loves books. She can devour a 400, 500-page book in like 5 days. And so she is very nurturing, and she's just very loving, and she takes care of all of us. And I just love her sensitive spirit. So that's a little bit about them.
I'm not going to let you talk about Marcus.
Marcus? You want me to talk about Marcus? I can talk about Marcus.
I know you can. I know. Everybody tell how proud you are of your family. Congratulations. We got to roll. Our agency managers, y'all give them a hand. Woo! Woo! Love y'all. Let's roll. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. Am I looking this way? Where am I looking? All right. Oh my gosh. It's Brian Tracy. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Can y'all tweak him up a little bit on the volume? This is my friends, Brian.
Well, when I listen to this, I want to get on a plane and come down there myself and sign up.
Well, we wish you could have made it, but we understand with all the COVID and all kinds of other stuff going on. But your health is good. You're in good health now. You told me you're 77 years old and you would outwork most of these people under the table at 77. I think that's what you told me.
Well, I never said that, but it's probably true. I was just talking with somebody a few minutes ago, and we're talking about the reason for success and failure. And successful people love to work. That's it. Go home now. That's it. That's all you need to know is successful people love to work. Now, then what you have to do is the people in this room, we say, are successes looking for a place to happen. They're successful people just looking for a place to happen. And what you're offering them is a place to happen. And then what you do is you just work, and you just work your you-know-what off. And there's nothing that can stop you. You know, we were really fortunate. We read all this nonsense about America's not a good country and so on. Some years ago, a friend of mine was Bill Bennett, and he was the Secretary of Education in the Reagan administration. And he was giving a speech to a group of 12-year-olds or 12th graders. And they were asking, Mr. Bennett, we hear all these negative things about America. How can you tell what's a good country and what's a bad country? And Bill Bennett's a really neat guy, very smart. And he said, well, it's very simple. He said, you just use the gate test. And, well, what is the gate test? He said, well, you just open the gates and see which way the people go. And in America, when you open the gates, which way do the people go? Well, if you've been watching television this last week and looking at the people trying to get in from Mexico by the tens of thousands, 50,000, hundreds of thousands roaring in to get into the U.S. because if they can get here, all they have to do is get here and they've got a chance. They've got a shot at success. And everybody in the audience there is way, way ahead of people who are trying to get here for the first time. And so that's the critical thing. There's no limit to what you can accomplish. I'm going to give you some keys to unlocking those doors, but there's no limit to what you can accomplish except for the limits that you put on yourself with your own thinking.
Well,
and the people you have up on the stage there, their stories demonstrate that there's no limits here. If you are not succeeding, that's your problem. It's not the business. It's not the market. It's just the fact that you haven't learned how yet.
But guys, Brian Tracy has helped literally millions of people make millions of dollars. And all of his books are my favorite, but Goals is my #1 favorite book of Brian Tracy's I've ever read. And that's where we got this point of success. It's described in that book. And we've had Brian Tracy in to speak before, and he just blew us away. It was amazing. And I asked Missy to contact Brian. I said, I want to send him my coins and just tell him how much I love him and confess to stealing his idea about the success coin. And so we shipped them to him in our books, and we started a relationship up again. We started talking on Zoom calls, and then we figured out a way to get Brian to agree to talk to you guys about how to become multimillionaires on your own terms, but through the Alliance system. And we've had a blast talking to you. I've so much enjoyed my one-on-one conversations here. You talking about your children and grandchildren, and talking about us doing a Brian Tracy success coin too.
Yes, absolutely. But you know, Wayne Dyer was a good friend of mine before he died, and he wrote a book called No Limit Thinking. And I just think that's a great title for a book. It's a great title for a life. Just no limit thinking. The only thing that really holds us back are the limits we place on our own thinking. So if we just throw off the limits, any. And if there aren't any, then what do you do? Well, the only other alternative is to become a big success and to become wealthy and have a big house on the hill and make sure your kids go to great schools so that they also have the keys to the kingdom. They have the coins, if you like, that enable them to be a big success. One of the things that I have 4 children, all grown up now, and they have children. I have 8 grandchildren. And the one thing that my wife and I, Barbara, focused on was to help our kids to learn these things that you're learning, clients, and to become successful faster in this lifetime and help your kids to be successful. Give them the tools. And if you'll get off the stage and give me a chance to talk, Andy, I want to share some principles, which I wrote after our last talk. I wrote down the 10 commandments of success. And it's interesting because the entirety of the Christian religion, which has influenced the whole world, is based on the 10 commandments. So I've produced my own 10 commandments, and you can take them and you can use them. And I will give you a guarantee. They're absolutely 100% guaranteed to work. Any one of them alone will make you rich. All 10 of them together will make you so successful and happy at the same time. It's no good, as you know, you and I have talked a lot. It's no good just to be a lot of people unhappy. It's to be wealthy and to be happy, and have great family and great relationships and live a long time. In the U.S. today, you can live to about 79 to 80 years on average, and your job is to break the average and not only to have a great life, but to have a long, great life.
So these 10 commandments, do you have them written
Yes.
down? Do you repeat them to them? Do your kids have them memorized?
Well, I've just written them down and shared them with as many people as possible. And if you like, I'll give you the 10 commandments. Would you like to do that? I mean, how do you want to take the next hour together, Andy?
I love it. I love it.
Okay. Well, let's just go through them. And if you have any questions, a commandment, by the way, is something that's everywhere and always true. It's everywhere and always true. It's not true occasionally. It's like gravity. Gravity doesn't work occasionally. Gravity works all the time, every time, for everyone who uses it. So commandment number 1 is to decide exactly what you want and write it down and work on it every day. Now that sounds very simple, but the great truths are simple. The great truths are simple. They're not complicated because God only made simple folk. And so therefore, any commandments that are relevant to us are simple as well. And number 1 is decide exactly what you want, write it down, and work on it every day. Now, I say this, but do you know that only 3% of adults have written goals? And everybody else works for them. Everybody works for the people who have written goals. And you say, well, I know what my goals are. Great, show me them in writing. Because it's only when you write them down that you develop clarity. My favorite word in success is clarity, clarity. And you cannot be clear unless you write it down on a piece of paper in such a way that you can show it and explain it to other people. Now, it's very common. Imagine that you decided to buy a piece of land and build a dream house. And you worked and worked and worked, and finally you could afford the house, and you wanted to build a dream house. And you called the best contractor, the best construction person in the city, and you bring him and say, here's my piece of land. I want you to build my dream house on this piece of land. Well, what would be the first question that the construction person would ask you? Where's your plan? Show me your blueprint. I mean, what do you want? Oh, you say, oh, don't worry. I've got it up here in my head. I know exactly. I'll know what it is when I see it. And that's the great majority. More than 90% of people think that they'll know what their ideal life looks like when they see it. But no, that's not how it works. You have to write it down, and you have to make a plan, and you have to go over the plan over and over again. So number 1, decide what you want, write it down, and then work on it every day. If you're going to be successful, remember the 80-20 rule. 80% of people are not successful. So if you want to be in the top 20%, well, then you have to write things down and you have to work on them all the time. And you'll find at the beginning, by the way, it's very hard. It's very hard. If anybody ever tells you that it's easy to be successful, then you run for the door. You grab your wallet and run for the door, because it's not easy. There's only 3 types of difficulty in becoming successful. There's hard, harder still, and still harder more. It's just really hard to do. So that's the first one. If you're not writing down your goals, what I do, and I've taught many people to become millionaires. I'll give you a very simple secret to become a millionaire. I'll just show it to you. I hadn't thought about it, but it's right next to me here. This is mine. This is a workbook. This is a 3-hole binder with a spiral notebook. And what I do is I found more than 30 years ago, if you get a binder like this, which will cost you, I say it'll cost you about $1.95. And if you can't afford it, your mother will get it for you because she wants you out of the house anyway. And if you get this, and then you write down your 10 goals every day, you open up your workbook and you write down your 10 goals as though they were already a reality. I have a net worth of more than $1 million. I weigh X number of pounds. I do this. I achieve this. Your subconscious mind only understands a goal if it's in writing. And so write it down, write it down, write it down. And it's the most astonishing thing. So I have business owners, very successful people that I put through my program. And in the middle of the first morning, I'll say, now, I want to introduce you to your new best friend. Your new best friend is a spiral notebook. And what you're going to do is every morning you're going to get up and you're going to write down your 10 top goals without looking at the previous page. So in other words, you're not just going to copy from one page to the other. You're going to turn up a clean page and write down your 10 goals. And the most amazing thing will happen is you'll develop greater and greater clarity. Your goals description will change from day to day. The order of priority will change. The description will change. It's the most amazing thing. And as you rewrite your goals every day, it's almost like stepping on the accelerator of your life. You start to go faster and faster towards your goals, and then pop, your goals start to come true. And it's amazing. I've had people say they've been through years of coaching and spent tens of thousands of dollars, and this one exercise over 30 days changed their life forever. So will you do it? Well, here's a test. If you go to a university or school, they give you a test to see if you have learned the material. And the test is simply this, can you write down your 10 most important goals every single day for a month? If you can do that, your life will change forever. And you know something? Only 3% of adults can do it. The other 97%, according to the research, can't do it. They don't have the character. They don't have the strength. They don't have the willpower to do it. They just can't do it. So therefore, Andy and I are giving you this very simple gift. It costs $1.95. And if you don't have one, you can borrow one and just write down your 10 most important goals every day and see if you can do it. And it's quite amazing what will happen to you when you do it. Now, the second commandment is dedicate yourself to lifelong learning. I saw the young man on the stage here a couple of minutes ago who just reads 100 pages a day, 500 pages a week. I mean, it's interesting. Warren Buffett is one of the richest men in the world. He's worth almost $100 billion. And they asked him, what is his secret for success? He started with nothing when he was a young man. He's now 80 years old. He said, it's simple. He said, I read 5 hours a day. I read 5 hours a day. Now, I read 3 hours a day, but you read 5 hours a day? He said, yeah, that's the secret to success. He said, but where do you get the time to read 5 hours a day? He said, well, success secret number 2 is I say no to everything that does not move me toward my most important goals. I just say no. There's 2 or 3 things, and this is true, by the way, in life. There's only 2 or 3 things that are more important than everything else. 2 or 3 goals that are worth 90% of everything that you do. He said, so I only do those 2 or 3 things. I don't do anything else. People say, do you want to play golf or do you want to go fishing or something like this? He says, no. It's I only do those 2 or 3 things that help me to be successful more than anything else. And one of them, of course, it takes approximately 5 minutes for you to write down your goals every morning. It takes about 5 minutes. And that one exercise alone programs you. And it programs your subconscious and your superconscious mind. And once your superconscious mind has the program, it works 24 hours a day to bring that goal toward you and bring you toward the goal. So there's one of the richest men in the history of the world. He says the key to success is read every day and just say no. Sometimes when I'm doing a seminar, I say, okay, you all go home now. That's probably enough for you. It's will change your life forever if you have the discipline to do it. So that's good. Now, number 3. Oh, by the way, with regard to reading, and learning. This is so important. I cannot tell you. But when you meet successful people, one of the subjects, and I have friends who are very successful. One of the things they ask is, what are you reading right now? What are you reading right now? What's the most important thing you've learned recently? What would you recommend that I read? Is they're always sharing back and forth ideas on books to read. Ideally, read my books, because what I've done, and Andy knows this, is I've read all their books. And what I do is I take the very, very best, then I condense it into new books. And I'll even read Andy's books. We know this. See? Here's House Values and Behaviors by Andy Albright. Here's Millionaire by Andy Albright. Here's The 8 Steps to Success by Andy Albright. Here's Inside the Circle by Andy Albright. Well, these books will make you rich. I mean, it costs you a couple of dollars and they make you rich. If you don't want to be rich, buy these books and read them and practice them every day. No big deal. And also listen to audio programs, because an audio program is a condensation of 10 or 20 or 50 books. So therefore, listen to audio programs as you move around. Never listen to music on the radio when you're moving around. I cannot tell you how many people over the last few decades have told me that listening to one program over and over made them rich. They just listen to it and listen to it and listen to it, and it soaked in a little bit and it soaked in a little bit more and got deeper and deeper, and they became wealthy. They just did what was on the program. So it's really important. And then the third way, and this is what I call this, the golden triangle of continuous learning: read, listen, and attend conferences like this. Sometimes, and when you're in a conference like this, ask people, what's the best thing you've learned in the last year? What's the best book you've read? What's the best audio program you've listened to? And whatever they tell you, you should be walking around with a notebook. You should be walking around with something and write it down. Don't think that you're so smart. Many years ago, worked for a man, I call him the big boss. And as a result of several things, he hired me to be his personal assistant. I didn't realize until later, this man was worth almost $1 billion. He owned 200 companies, and he was one of the most respected, smartest people I ever met. And the first thing I noticed when I met with him, I would meet with him 2 or 3 times a week, is that whenever we talked, he would write it down. He always had a pen in his hand, and he wrote things down. And I learned later that if he wrote something down, he could quote it back to me 6 months later, word for word. He could read a contract or a book and quote it back to me 6 months or a year later. He had what is called a photographic memory. He only had to see it or hear it once, and he had it forever. And yet he wrote it down. So if who starts with nothing, who becomes one of the richest people in the country and one of the most respected people, writes everything down, you write everything down too. Good grief. Just do what Andy tells you to do, and you'll be fine. Now, number 3 is become excellent at what you do. There's no mediocre people who are successful. Only people who are excellent. They do their job really well. And when people talk about them, they say, oh, yeah, he's really good or she's really good at what they do. And your job in life is to move up into the top 20%. Now, it's interesting. The top 20% of people, you heard the 80-20 rule, the top 20% of people earn 80% of the money in every field. The bottom 80% earn 20%. Well, if you sit down with a piece of paper and calculate it, what does it work out to? Well, it means that the average person in the top 20% earns 16 times the average of the bottom 80%. 16 times. Now, here's a fun question, Andy, is for our friends here, what difference would it make if you were earning today 16 times what you're earning right now? What difference would it make in your life if you're earning 16 times? Well, the top 20% earn, on average, 16 times. So how do you get into the top 20%? You make a decision and you simply say, I'm going to get into the top 20%. I'm going to do whatever it takes and spend whatever amount of time, but I'm going to get into the top 20%. And the interesting thing is, once you make that decision, as long as you keep working on it every day, nobody can stop you. It's not as if there's, they got the Gestapo waiting at the doors to stop you from becoming wealthy. No, everybody wants you to be wealthy, because everybody who is working with you to help you to be wealthy benefits. So therefore, the very fastest way that most people become rich is by helping other people to become rich. So the people in the top 20% earn an average of 16 times. So your job is to earn an average in the top 20%, in the top 10%, then the top 5%, and so on. And again, nobody can stop you except you if you stop. That's if you stop. So just don't stop. So that's the third commandment. Become excellent at what you do. Make a decision that you're going to become the very best at what you do. The commandment number 4 is to identify the constraints that hold you back from achieving your goals. Now, this is based on some great research that was done some years ago at the University of Tel Aviv in Israel. And what the author found was that between you and anything you want to accomplish, there is what he called a constraints or a limiting factor. There's something that holds you back. And your job is to decide where you are today, and then decide where your goal is, where you want to be in the future, and then identify your limiting factors. What are the constraints that determine how fast you achieve your goal? And this is really important, and this is now being taught in all the top universities in the world, the theory of constraints. And what they do is they teach people in businesses to go in and say, well, what is our goal? Well, let us say our goal is to double the size of our business in the next 1 year. Well, that's a big goal, heck of a goal. Say, all right, well, what determines the speed at which you achieve your goal? What do you need to do more of or less of? What do you need to start doing or stop doing? What skills do you need to develop that you don't have? And what we do, I've worked now in strategic planning for more than 1,000 companies in 84 countries. And so one of the first questions we ask with these top executives, one of my clients has 152,000 staff in more than 1,000 different businesses. And so we work with the top people and we say, what is our goal? And our goal is always to have more sales and bigger profits. All right, well, what sets the speed at which we grow? What sets the speed at which you double your income? Now, a seminar that I love to do that we've talked about before is doubling your income. So let us say your goal is to double your income. Well, what holds you back? And my favorite question is, why aren't you already earning twice as much? Why aren't you already earning twice as much? What's your reason? What's your constraint? What's the limiting factor that holds you back? And you have to identify that and remember our favorite word, clarity. You have to be absolutely clear. Well, the reason why I am not earning twice as much today is this. Now, most people always decide that the reason they're not earning twice as much is something outside of themselves. It's something outside of themselves. It's their childhood. It's their upbringing. It's the market. It's the economy. It's whatever. But superior people always look to themselves. They always say, what is it in me that's holding me back? And the 80-20 rule applies to this theory of constraints. In my estimation, is that 80% of the reason why you're not achieving your goal or more is inside yourself. It's something that you are doing or not doing. So be honest. Don't pretend that you don't know or don't blame someone else for it. Just say, all right, the reason why I'm not earning twice as much is I don't start early enough. I don't work hard enough. I am not good enough in terms of skill. one of the most important things that Andy and I talk about is how important it is for you to be in the top 5 or 10% of your field. And why aren't you there already? Well, I guess I haven't worked at it long enough and hard enough. There you go. There you go. You got the answer. Go home now and just upgrade your skills. So number 4, commandment number 5 is unlock your inborn creativity. One of the things that I learned is that you are an inborn genius. You are a genius. Einstein said every child is a genius. About 5% of children are born with genius capacities. That means you have the ability to perform at extraordinary levels. You have the ability to learn more than you could possibly dream of. Interesting thing is, the more you learn, the more you can learn, because your brain is very much like a muscle. And so the more you use this muscle, the stronger it becomes, the more flexible it becomes, the easier it becomes for you to learn and apply and to connect and interconnect the things that you have learned. So it's really important to unlock your inborn creativity and realize that you have within you now all that you need to achieve any goal you can set for yourself. So what is it? And creativity is the key. Creativity is your ability to find faster, cheaper, better, easier ways to achieve a goal. So what are they? And remember, your best friend is a pad of paper and a pen. Write it down, write it down, write it down. One of the exercises that I will give you that will make you rich, actually, this would be worth the entire value of this entire conference. It's very simple. It's called the 20 idea method. And what you do is you take any obstacle you have and you write it down as a question. And in your life, you say, why aren't I already worth $1 million? And you write that at the top of the page. And then you write down 20 reasons why you're not already worth $1 million. Or you can write down is what can I do to achieve a net worth of $1 million? And then you write down 20 answers. If you have any problem or difficulty at all, you write it down as a question at the top of the page and then generate 20 answers to your question. And you'll find that, and I've done this with many people, you'll find that the first answers, when you write down 20 answers, are very easy. Do more of this, do less of that. Start doing this, stop doing that. But then you start to get to rough road, and you have to really dig for answers. And then it becomes more and more difficult. And the last 3 or 4 answers to get to 20 are very, very hard, very painful. And sometimes the 20th answer changes your life forever. And what does it cost you? A piece of paper and a pen and a little bit of character and determination. So this 20 idea method, I learned it many years ago, and it just makes you rich. Makes you rich because what it does is your whole brain starts to work at a higher and higher level. You start to think better, and you come up with better ideas, and those ideas compound on top of other ideas, and so on. And what it takes is a little bit of work, a little bit of discipline, a little bit of focus, and you just do it on a regular basis. So whenever you have any goal, write down, what are 20 things that I can do to achieve this goal? Whenever you have a problem, what are 20 things I can do to solve this problem? And you will be astonished how smart you are. The answers that you start to come up with will be amazing. People will start saying, where did you think of that? How did you think of that? Well, it's very simple. I took a piece of paper and a pen, and I began writing. It's just a most wonderful, wonderful thing. Well, commandment number 6 is dedicate yourself to lifelong contribution. And this says basically, the more you put in, the more you get out. And you'll find that there's 2 types of people in life. And Andy and I were talking about this last week. There's people who are always saying, what's in it for me? Me, 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 like a little kid in the supermarket. Me, 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 me. And they're always asking, what's in it for me? What do I get? And what we found, we're talking about the fact that the great law of the universe is the golden rule, is the rule that says, Whatsoever you sow, also shall you reap. That means whatever you put in, you get back. But what I have found, and especially in spiritual development, is that you can only control one half of the equation, the sowing and reaping. You can control the sowing. If you have a farm and you want to have a great crop, what's the most important thing you do? Is you prepare the soil and sow the seeds and keep sowing the seeds. Now, you can't grow it. It's grown by the universe. The universe grows the crop, but you can plant the crop. So you'll find that back in the old days when the pioneers came out here, they'd find a good piece of land and they'd clear the land. And then they would sow the land. And then they would nurture the soil, take good care of it every single day, and allow the sun and the rain and the natural powers in the soil grow the crop. And then they would reap the crop. But you can only control half the equation. If you control half the equation, the universe will control the other half. If you plant lots of seeds, the universe will grow the seeds and give you a great crop. The universe will make you rich and make you happy. So it's very simple that you think in terms of contribution. In my life, I've always found that there's two things about contribution, is that the more you contribute, of course, the more you get back, but contributing makes you happy. If you want to be happy, dedicate your life to serving, to giving to other people, to putting it in. And you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry where your rewards are going to come from. They come to you by law, come to you by spiritual law. Whatsoever a man soweth, that also shall he reap. And you can only control one side of the equation. You can control the sowing side of the equation. So your job is to sow. Your job is to sow and to continue putting in. That means looking for ways to serve people. Here's a great story, which you're all familiar with. But once upon a time, there was a salesman in New York, and he was selling on the phone. He was selling investments, and he decided he didn't like this sort of work. So he sat down with his wife, and they said, let's go out to the West Coast and start a business of some kind. So they got in a car, and they drove from one side of the country to the other. She drove, and he sat there with a computer, a laptop, and he just did some research and looked at different needs and things. And they came up with the idea that what people needed is they needed to be able to get stuff with as little effort as possible and as cheap as possible. So they rented a house and they had a garage, and they began to buy books, popular books, in quantity from the publishers. And anybody can buy things at wholesale in quantity. And he began to sell them online. And he said, now, we have no business except this little business. What is the name of the biggest thing in the world? It's the Amazon River. So he called his company Amazon. And the rest is history. Today, he's worth more than $200 billion. He's the richest man in the history of the world. And what does he do? He looks for ways for products and services that people want, and then he sells them at prices below retail and delivers them within 24 hours. And so everybody's happy. And his focus in his company is customer service. What can we do to make our customers happy, and then happier, and then happier? And by the way, I've been thinking of my next book. I just finished my 91st book, and I'm thinking about book number 92. But I have to tell you, it's getting harder to come up with a new subject, because I only want to write books that are popular, books that are life-changing and business-changing. So I've come up with an idea for a book, and I may write it or not, but I'm going to call it the Factor, E-R, the Factor. And the Factor is based on the fact that everybody in life wants to do things to improve themselves. That is the greatest drive of all of human nature, is just to improve themselves in some way. Their life, their health, their finances, their family, and so on. And so the Factor is ER. So people want things that are faster and cheaper and easier and more convenient or convenient-er and so on. Everybody wants an So the way that you succeed in life is you plug in this factor to everything that you do. So you're always serving people faster, better, cheaper, easier, newer, greater reliability, more convenient. Everything is And you and I may not write the book, but it's the thought that counts. So just think about, how can I serve people better, faster, easier, cheaper? And all you need is one thing: deliver books to people who are going to buy them anyway, but don't have time to go down to the bookstore. So just deliver books faster or serve people faster. What's the most successful coffee shop in the world? It's Starbucks. And sometimes today they have Starbucks on all four corners of an intersection. And all four stores are busy. And people go to Starbucks, and one type of people goes to this Starbucks, and another type of people goes to this Starbucks, and the secretaries go here, and the bosses go here, and everybody's lined up at Starbucks first thing in the morning. It's the most amazing darn thing, because they make it easier and cheaper and faster and more enjoyable to buy a cup of coffee. Well, within your mind, within your brain, there's probably more ideas than you could dream of in a lifetime. And every single one is finding something where you can do an with your products and services and activities. When I started off with nothing, I started off mowing lawns. We used to go around the neighborhood with a lawnmower. And I found ways to mow people's lawns better, faster, cheaper, easier than someone else. And I found later that I was using a push lawnmower, and then I bought a used, cheap lawnmower that was electric, or actually it was electric, and then I got a gasoline lawnmower, and then I realized I needed a much better lawnmower, so I wanted to mow lawns so that they were like a golf green. You know, you think of a golf green, it's so beautifully cut, the grass is tight to the ground and so on. And so I had to get a professional lawnmower, which was very expensive. It was several $100s. So I went to a lawnmower store, and I told them I needed a lawnmower, and they had one that had been brought in for sale. And so they helped me to buy it and finance it, and I could take it out, and I went out around the neighborhood and asked people if I could mow their lawn. And they said, sure. And I said, well, I charge this amount. And it was a good amount. They said, that's a lot of money. I said, well, it's a very good lawn mowing job. You'll really like it. So I'd mow the lawn. And people in the neighborhood would come around and say, who the hell cut your grass? Who cut your grass? That's beautiful. And somebody else would say, can you cut my grass? Well, within one summer, I was earning more than my father earned in his lifetime. It was the most amazing thing. And it was all based on just mowing the lawn faster, cheaper, easier, smoother, and so on. And then people said, well, what about the edges? And so I got a hand edger, and that didn't work very well. So I went back to my friends at the used equipment store, and they set me up with a gasoline edger. So you could start it up, and it had almost like a propeller on the one side, and you sharpen it up, and you could put an edge on the side of a yard that was as sharp as an arrow. So people would look at their yards and it looked like they'd been cut by geniuses. And because I had a really good gas lawnmower and a really good gas edger. And by the time I was 15, I was earning more money than any other kid at school. Why? It's because of the factor. Anyway, it's just a small thing. Is the opportunities are limited only by your own imagination. So think about contributing to other people. What do people like? People love it when you take good care of them, when you do something for them, when you make their lives better in some way. And just keep looking for it. And there's so many different things. People come here from every country in the world, and they just find someplace where there's an ER, somewhere they have no background, experience, money, knowledge, or everything else, but they can do something that people want done, and they can do it faster, better, cheaper, easier. The only limitation is your own imagination. And since you're all geniuses, we all know this, in your business right now, you have the ability, working with Andy and the others, to help people dramatically improve the quality of their lives and the very, very small change in their lives and what they're doing. So commandment number 7 is accept complete responsibility for everything you are and everything you ever will be. When I began studying this subject, I found that there are no limits when you start to accept responsibility for yourself and for your life. And the key to accepting responsibility is no blaming. Make a decision today that you're never going to blame anybody else for anything in your life that you're not happy about. And this is the most amazing thing, because 80% of people, bottom 80%, blame all the time. They're always thinking why somebody else is to blame. He said and she said, and he did or he didn't, and they did, and so on. And so the turning point in life is for you to accept responsibility. The magic words, and Andy and I were talking about this last week, the magic words are, I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible. I learned those 40, 50 years ago, and they just hit me like a truck. I couldn't believe how powerful they were. You see, Aristotle in 350 BC came up with what he called the primum movum of human life. That means the first moving factor, the greatest factor. And he said, it is to be happy. People want to be happy. Everything that you do in life is ultimately to be happy. So why do you go to work in the daytime? So you can earn money. Why do you want to earn money? So you can pay your bills. Why do you want to pay your bills? So you can be happy. So you can provide for your family. Why? Because it makes you happy. So the number one driving force of human behavior, people who want to come to work for you and with you, is they want to be happy. And so what you need to do is find out what makes people happy. And they're happy when you can help them to do things faster, better, cheaper, easier, more consistently, more reliably than any other way that they're doing it. So your job is to help people to be happy. All successful businesses make people happy. That's all. And if your customer says, I'm unhappy about this or that, the very first thing you do is you change it immediately. Take it back. Give them their money back. Is you have only one goal in life, is to make people happy. The more people you make happy, the more they'll bring their friends. Make them happy, and they'll bring their friends, and then they'll tell other people, and pretty soon they'll have stories about you in the newspapers and magazines and television and so on. So your job is, you're in the happiness business, and you know there's an online site called my mind just went blank on me there. It's Zappos, and Zappos is formed by a man named Tony Hsieh. And Tony Hsieh said, what is it that people want and need? And one of the things they want and need is shoes. So what he did is he set up a small online business to sell shoes. And he went to shoe manufacturers and he said, can I sell your shoes for you? And they said, sure. So they worked out a wholesale retail deal, and then they started advertising, and they began to give people incredible customer service, 1,000 different shoes. If you've never shopped from Zappos before, you've got to do it now. Your next pair of shoes is Zappos, Z-A-P-P-O's apostrophe S. Pretty soon you had hundreds of people and working for them, warehouses and shipping and everything else. But Zappos is amazing because you call up Zappos and they treat you like you were the king that just phoned. You're one of the most important people in the world that just phoned them, and they treat you and take such great care of you. And then he wrote a book, and the book was called, I forget the name of the book, but basically something like Zappos. And he said, we're not in the shoe business, we're in the happiness business. We just happen to sell shoes. And so therefore, what we do is we look for ways to make people happy. And if they call up, everybody in the company is instructed to make our customers so happy that they come back again and again, and they tell their friends who come back again and again. And pretty soon, this business is up to $1.2 billion. And Amazon bought them out completely, and left them in charge because all things considered, the Starbucks experience is one of the best coffee experiences in history. And you can do the same thing. So anyway, my point is that you have the ability to make people happy. And if you make them happy, they'll come back and buy from you and invest through you and follow your advice and everything else. So what is another commandment? That was my commandment of taking responsibility. By the way, I studied psychology, and I studied this subject for about 4,000 hours over the course of years. And what I discovered was that the primary aim of human life, as I was starting to say, is to be happy. And what is it that causes people to be unhappy? And the answer is they blame other people for their problems. They're angry and they lash out and they blame other people for their problems. If you stop, then the only thing left is happiness. You can only be unhappy if you're blaming other people for some reason. You stop blaming, and the way that you stop blaming is you say those magic words: "I am responsible. I'm responsible. Nobody else. Me. I am where I am and what I am because of myself." And I have taught this to millions of people, and people write back to me, and they said their life was transformed by that idea that I am responsible, and I don't blame anybody for anything. Is I'm responsible. Don't blame my kids. You know what the number one reason for unhappiness as an adult is? Destructive criticism when you're a child from your parents. Parents who destructively criticize their children, tell them how bad they are in various areas, kick out the chair underneath them emotionally. And for the rest of their lives, they feel bad about themselves. So I have 4 wonderful children. As I've said, my children have never been criticized because I know that if you criticize a child, it guts them like a fish on the dock. It takes away their pride and their self-esteem and their joy in life. So we have all kinds of arguments and disagreements and everything else, but we love each other and we debate and go back and forth and so on. But nobody in my family ever criticizes anyone because destructive criticism is the great killer of human personality. Just a quick aside. And why? We just encourage everybody to accept responsibility. I am responsible. You're responsible. We're responsible. Now, let's get on with it. Now, commandment number 8. Commandment number 8 is everything counts. Everything counts. Everything that you do in life has an effect of some kind. Everything makes things better or makes things worse. Everything improves things or makes things lesser. So therefore remember, everything counts. Everything that you do is either helping you and moving you toward your goals and your success and your happiness, or it's moving you away. Nothing is neutral. Everything counts. So whenever somebody says, "Oh, it doesn't matter," and when people have a chance to do something and they have a chance to do it really well or average, they say, "Oh, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. Nobody will notice." There's the mark of a person who has no future, has no success in life. Nobody will notice. Nobody matters. Nobody cares. Yes, everything matters. Everything that you do adds up, and it adds up, and it adds up. So make sure that everything that you do, you go to a restaurant. I was just reading about one of the top restaurants, and they talk and they show what cooks do in the kitchen and how they prepare the dishes. Different little things are done to prepare a single dish before it's taken out and served at the table. And they charge a lot, and people eagerly pay them a lot because the quality of what they do is so amazing. Now, lots of other companies serve the same food, but no one takes the same amount of attention to prepare this dish and to make it so excellent in every way. And that's your job. Your job is to do really good work. Do really good work, and then do it a little bit more. Earl Nightingale used to say that you do a little bit more for the lavishing sake. He said, it's the lavishing sake. It's the little extra that you put in that makes all the difference. And who controls the quality of the work that you do? And fortunately, it's all up to you. It's completely under your own control. So commandment number 9, and you could write books and articles and create university courses on every one of these commandments. Commandment number 9 is to consider the consequences. Now, in life, everything that you do has a consequence, pro or con, positive or negative. It adds up or it takes away. Everything has consequences. So always think in terms of what would be the consequences of doing this or not doing it? What would be the consequences if we made this extra effort or didn't bother to make this extra effort? And the most successful people in our world are people who are always thinking, what would be the likely consequences of doing or not doing something extra? And it's that little extra, as Earl said, for the lavishing's sake, that little extra that nobody expects that you put into your work, that makes all the difference. It causes people to talk about you. It causes people to come back. You know, in business, I have huge programs on marketing. And in marketing, you have sort of 3 parts of marketing. And part number 1 of marketing is to get people to buy from you for the first time. That's the hardest of all sale. Actually, it's not. But it's a very, very difficult sale, is to get people to buy from you because people are skeptical, because people have been burnt, if you like, so many times. Marketing, we call this